Too many games. Way, way too many games. Wait, also too many games. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into Playground, right? Yeah. Going to go into the Playground today, and we're going to be talking about Ashka here, one of the first playable characters you should be able to play when you first pick up this game. He's a really good champion for anybody just starting out playing the game. Now, Ashka's one of the main characters that I like to play in this game. He's fantastic. He's one of my fallback characters. He's my main, actually. I would sit here and call I am the Molten Fury. I am Anastal Bastion, my friend, the Molten Fury. Now, the reason why I like Ashka is because he has a ton of burst damage. He's an absolute ton of burst damage, and he has this really cool mechanic called Ignite. The reason why this is a really cool mechanic, let me just ignite something real quick. Cancel it here. The Ignite, what it does is it adds more damage to an enemy if they're ignited, which is really cool. And almost all of his abilities have a Battlerite or something that gives him the ability to do this. Now, as you can see, I'm hitting this really big target over and over again, and I'm resetting the Ignite. Notice they're losing 2 points of damage every couple of seconds, right? And so that means that every time I hit him with something, right, I get 15 damage plus the 2 damage from the hit, and then the 2 damage from the dot. Now, the reason why this is super important is because this is Ashka's entire game plan. It's to ignite people and just do all your damage, right? So let's go over Ashka real quick. He does, let me see, his regular auto, I believe, is 15 damage and reapplies Ignite on impact. So if something is ignited and I hit it with my auto, it will reignite the Ignite, allowing it to do more damage over time. So what you're supposed to be doing is igniting a foe and just following them with your autos. That's the entire point of this character. Oh, right, and it tells you what Ignite does. Ignite deals 8 damage over 4.5 seconds. So over 4.5 seconds, every 4.5 seconds, you're going to get dealt about... Over 4.5 seconds, they will lose 8 health, but the longer you keep it up, the more they just constantly keep losing at least 2 every time. Firestorm is his right click. He throws 3 giant fireballs at enemies, and whoever they hit, they ignite on contact, and they do about 18 damage. They don't do more damage if the person is ignited. That's what your autos are for. Your space, which is called, what is it called? Searing Flight. You transform into a fireball and fly across the map, or at least as far as like the space will take you. You can land on somebody and do 10 damage. Well, it works in AoE, so all these things took 10 damage there. It doesn't land Ignite, it doesn't do anything special, it just gets you out of predicaments. The cooldown is something like, it's 9 seconds. I was going to say 10, but it's 9. His Q, amazing skill. It does about 28 damage. Sorry, 20 damage. I usually take the increased damage on this because it's a good skill. And what that does is it will stun people. It will stun enemies that are caught underneath it so that they can't move, and it does 20 damage. It also doesn't apply Ignite, but I usually take a Battlerite that does, and I'll show you why in a few. Molten Fist, his other escape ability, what this does is it will, when you hit an enemy, it will push them away and snare them, so it's easy for you to get away. Usually you want to use it so you can get away. I'm going to take the cooldowns off so I can keep using this real quick and give myself infinite energy as well. So, pop! Now I can walk away as they're snared, so it's harder for them to come at me right away. Also, what this does is, by the way, is makes you invincible. So you can dodge bullets in the entire time that you're doing that jump, but you have to hit something in order to make the punch, make the invincible frames worth it. Basically, this is like his only mobility that gives him invincibility. Obviously, the space will jump you in the air, but this move is clearly to get away and dodge other skill shots. His R, which is a wall, is a fiery wall that if you put up will block projectiles. Really, really good. Very, very good move. Also, if you put the wall, if somebody walks through the wall, or you put the wall on somebody, it adds an Ignite to them, and it's very good to keep Ignite up on people. If they're running away or something like that, you can use your R to catch them so that you can keep the Ignite going. If you couldn't reach them with your auto is the idea. Also, since cooldowns are off, I'm attacking very, very fast. His ultimate, so good. His ultimate is my favorite ultimate in the game. You go in a straight line, you deal 36 damage, popping enemies up into the air, and when they come back down, they get hit with an additional, I think it's like 11 or 9 damage, and a massive Ignite gets put on top of them, and as long as they sit in the pile of, that giant pile of magma, they get ticked away for 2s and 3s and 2s and 3s of Ignite, and it keeps reapplying the Ignite as well, as long as the the ground is still fiery as it is. So let's get, now that we're done with that, let's get into, let's put the cooldowns back on and go into Battlerites. I will give you an exact Battlerite sheet you should be running with this character. There are a couple of alterations you can do, but honestly, this is probably the best one you should be taking. Most Ashkas that I see playing when I face off against randoms don't take Combustion. And I don't know why they should be taking Combustion. You should take Combustion, and I'll show you why. Combustion is a really good move. What this does is it makes you right-click, which is this one here, right? Remember this one? The one where you shoot the 3 fireballs? Watch what happens when I shoot a big fireball. It hits all 3 enemies. Why is that? Because it explodes. What it does is Firestorm bolts deal 2 damage, deal 2 bonus damage. In an area, they'll do 8 damage and inflict ignite on nearby enemies and the target hit, because that's what the regular fireball already does. So, not only does this reapply ignite, it also bursts down grouped enemies. People that like to stick together, like healers and tanks, or melee tanky people and stuff like that. The other skill is a must-have skill is Heat, which is a mobility skill for this champion. What it does is, notice how without this ability, I can't move. I literally can't move until after I'm done casting the ability. Putting on Heat, though, I'm able to move and slowly keep moving away from the target I'm shooting, or move at the target I'm shooting, or just move sideways, just to try to avoid attacks while I'm trying to shoot off my 3 fireballs. The middle one here, which gives you 1 additional projectile, I personally would not take this. There's no reason for you to be standing still or slowed shooting 4 fireballs at somebody. If people are arguing that, oh, it's better to take the mid with that because it shoots 4 giant projectiles, that's wrong. What you can do is you can use this attack here and mash your right click, your like regular auto attack, and right after let me turn off the cooldowns to further show this. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then a regular fireball will come out and it will take the mid for you. You literally just need 3. If you're worried about middle control, you literally just need 3. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. I'm autoing. Boom. Done. I already got the mid. Done. Instantly gone. It goes out right after all these attacks. It's crazy, right? Another ability that you can use to mitigate the mid is to use your R to block enemy projectiles, and while you're doing that, we're going to wait for the mid to come up so I can show you this. Alright, if you need to keep the mid to yourself, you can always throw a Q down, and as you're doing this auto it, the Q will do 28 damage with this ability. So it does 28 damage, and then you just need 2 autos to take it yourself. That's the idea. Or, you can do Q, auto, punch, jump to it, do one of these. It's a little bit more, but if there's enemies on top of it, you obviously want to take the mid away from them so they can't have it, is the idea. Another must-take ability on this character is Magma. What this does is Ignite will deal 4 bonus damage when it is first applied, and then what this also does is if something is ignited, it will move 10% slower. This is so you can chase people down, obviously. So let's put Ignite on somebody real quick. Oh, shit. There you go. Now he's moving a lot slower, and as long as the Ignite is on them, he will move slower and slower and slower and slower. And the Ignite will do more damage. Like this first Ignite does an extra bit of damage. The first Ignite that I apply will do extra damage on a certain target. So obviously, this Ignite here, once this Ignite is gone, if I'm to reapply it with another Fireball, for example, that Ignite will do 4 extra damage as well. But it has to be reapplied, the very first Ignite. So you can't just like stack Ignites on somebody and then get unlimited damage. It doesn't work like that way. These 3 skills are the ones you need to have. You need to have these skills to make Ashko worth using, especially in this meta, because you need to be able to run away, you need to be able to ignite people, and you need to be able to do AoE damage, because the person you're teamed up with, you better have a champion next to you, like your buddy or whatever. If you get I guess, paired up with a random because you're playing by yourself, make sure that you are doing your best to get the enemies together. Like, back up in a straight line, move a little bit, whatever, just to get them together, because as soon as they're together, there's nothing they can do. Once you ignite them all, throw your Q down, stun them, jump on top of them, like that's your idea. That's the idea of, like, that's what you want to do. You can throw your R down and ignite multiple enemies. The 2 other skills that are my favorites to take with these 3 skills is Configuration. It's my favorite since the very first day of this game coming out. What it does is you put down your R, and when you throw an auto through your wall, it becomes a giant fireball, which inflicts ignite. And obviously, with the first ignite being empowered and does 10% slow to the person, it's literally meant to just sit behind this wall and block attacks so you can just throw fireballs at the enemy. It's crazy. It's a really good skill. And the only other one I like to take all the time is Inferno, because what this does is it makes your Q do 28 damage instead and still inflict the stun, and it it ignites them. The initial ignite will be an extra 4 damage because of this magma ability here. Now, if I'm looking at a team comp like Raigan Shifu, I will not take this build. If this is not worth the build to take, because they will both jump on me and I have no way to escape. So what I do is I use a runaway build, sort of, in a sense. What I'll do is I'll use Burning Feet and I'll use Blaze. Now what these two do, Blaze, when you jump a wall, it'll give you a little bit of a timer, so you can throw a big fireball at somebody. What it does is it pushes them back and lands an ignite on them. Also, the damage will be increased because of the magma. And Burning Feet, when you use Searing Flight, you'll have a speed boost. That's what this little white mist is. So you'll be able to use this to get away, run away, throw this at them, keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't touch me, go back, get out of here. And then use your E to get away if you need to and stuff like that. Something else I like to take is I'll take Burning Feet for the haste, and then I will take the Molten Punch, this one here, the blue one here, the Fire Punch. The reason why is because without the Fire Punch, you'll do that length. With the Fire Punch, you do that length. It increases the knockback, and it makes your invulnerability, like the invulnerability you get from actually hitting a target with this thing, much, much, much bigger. So it's really good for like Raigans, Rooks, anybody that wants to be on top of you. You say, no, nay, you will not be on top of me. I will not let this happen. That's how this works. Now, another way to be super safe, if you want to do a really super safe build, you can bring fire. Again, these 3 skills, I'm telling you, recommended. Keep these 3 skills, please. For the love of Christ, take these 3 skills. If you really feel like you want to use your abilities more and you want to, if you are a good enough player to stack your energies, take inspiration, I guess, but do not keep these 3 here. You can switch inspiration for magma, which what it does is it gives you an extra bar, as you can see, and lets you charge energy faster. But I don't normally take it. There's just no need. You're using your there's just no need. There's just no need. If you want to do another super safe build, I would take Fire Ward. So when you use your space, you get a little bit of a shield. This way, if somebody does jump on you, or you make a mistake, or you have to get away, you can just space in place if you wanted to, and get a shield. It's nice. It's very nice. It's a 15 shield, so it's good. And then you would take Ember Fire. What this does is the amount of damage you do, 75% of that damage will come back to you as health. So you'll do 20 damage, and you'll take 75%, so you'll get 15 back as health, which is nice. You can use this, and you can use the Ember Fire in combination with the Inferno to get more health back. Because you'll do 28 damage instead, and an extra 4 damage because of the Ignite. So you're doing something like 30 damage. So 75% of that is somewhere near like 5, 6, or 8 health back, which is good because it applies a stun and implies Ignite and all that stuff like that. And you want to do that. That's what you want to do. His two shift skills. He has fantastic ones. I'm not going to lie. I just forget to use them an awful lot because I don't know. That's just not my play style. So I'll go over what they are right here. His 2 space abilities, one is on his Q and one is on his space here. His first space ability, when you use it, it takes 2 bars to use. You jump across and become in pure fire mode. What this does is every single attack you land does regular damage, but it gives you back a little bit of health every time. If I'm not mistaken, it's... Yeah, you deal 15 damage and you get back 15 health. So obviously I had cooldowns on, so that's, I had cooldowns on, so that's why it was going faster. So we'll do this. I'm going to get 15 health back. Yeah, 15 damage. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And then the other one is on its Q. You got to get close for this one. You're going to do this. And then in an AoE, you petrify everything around you. It makes it easier for you to get away, so you don't have to deal with anybody, and it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. So again, guys, real quick. So the 3 skills that you want to take, again, are Combustion and Heat. You need this so that you can move around and throw your 3 giant fireballs off, and if they do hit somebody, they will AoE damage, ignite everything that's around them. And the last thing was the magma. You need this because when your ignite is placed on somebody, it will make them move 10% slower, which makes it easier for you to get away, obviously, or for you to chase even. It's a really, really, really good skill. It also increases your ignite damage, the initial ignite damage. So the very first ignite, and because of this explosion, all 4 of those ignites are +4 because of that, which is really, really good. But again, the main build that I normally take is Inferno and Configuration, again, for more burns. I obviously want to be able to get Ignite on my enemies as much as possible. That's the entire point of this character, is to get your Ignites on people so your attacks do way more damage. You can just burst them down. Anyway, guys, this has been NEB, and this has been all about Ashka. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.